Om. Om. Swami is talking about Dhananyas Chintayanto Mam Ye Jana Paripasate, that shloka. So I think that's what we have been discussing for the past 2-3 weeks also. So we'll continue from where we left off. I think this is what we read. So I guess today I think I may have to read. I don't know whether Kalyani is available to read. If not, I will read.
Sorry, Uncle, I just have some background noise. It's maybe better.
No problem. I will read. Thank you. Okay, Kalyan. The words yoga and kshema used by the Lord here mean yoga, acquisition of something desirable, and kshema, the preservation of what is thus acquired. The discipline by which you can preserve it is ananya chinta, exclusive meditation on the Lord. That will cleanse the mind. It will make you a bhakta. The bhakta is recognized by these things. He talks of the Lord, he sings of the Lord, he sees only the Lord, he works and spends his leisure with the Lord. Such persons have no need to perform yajna or yaga. They need not busy themselves with meritorious acts of charity. They need not go from one holy place to another. Why should they be sad if they miss these things and complain that the Lord did not give them the chance or the wherewithal for these? He does not insist on these or crave for these. Offer whatever arises in the mind, made pure by sadhana. He gladly accepts all. You may engage yourself in what are termed good deeds, but if the mind is unclean, if the vessel is not tinned with the thought of God, they are all polluted into poison. He is particular that the vessel should be clean. I'll stop here. I will just open it up for discussion. Swami is nicely explaining what a bhakta with an ananya chinta does.
Yeah.
So I will stop here. Anyone would like to share anything? Sorry. sorry. Okay.
Swami is giving here another interpretation for the yoga and kshema. That is, yoga is acquiring things, and then he is the one who will take care of it after obtaining certain aprapya things. Aprapya, what is it called? Aprapya vaina prapti. When you get it, he is the one who is going to take care of the that whatever you have got. That is kshema. So preservation, yes. He does it. So this is another interpretation which Swami gives. And those, for such people who have no other chinta except ananya chinta, no other is in their heart. Only Lord is there. So that will cleanse the mind, and then it will make them the bhakta. So for that bhakta, Lord is ready to do anything.
Sorry. Thank you. Anyone would like to?
Shall we discuss the first sentence, please? the words of yoga and kshema, which is used by the Lord. The yoga means acquisition of something desirable. What is that? And kshema, the preservation of what is thus acquired.
Okay. Anyone would like to, Auntie, would you like to comment on this?
Acquisition. What is acquisition of something desirable?
See, in Telugu, Swami is saying, Auntie, you want to? So that's what Swami, Auntie, maybe we should read the Telugu, Auntie, once.
Yeah, I'm reading. అప్రాప్తమైన ప్రాప్తిని అందించుటే యోగమనియు అట్లు ప్రాప్తించిన దానిని సంరక్షించుకున్నటే క్షేమమనియు మరి ఒక అర్థము కలదు. That's Swami here doesn't say desirable. He just says అప్రాప్తమైన ప్రాప్తిని. The one which you don't have, you are wishing for that. You are desiring to have that. That's what Swami is here saying. But desirable gives it something, some other meaning there. That
Yeah, so I think, Auntie, why don't we read the
whole thing?
Whole paragraph? Yeah.
Okay. అప్రాప్తమైన ప్రాప్తిని అందించుటే యోగమనియు అట్టు ప్రాప్తించిన దాన్ని సంరక్షించుకునుటే క్షేమమనియు మరి ఒక అర్థము కలదు.
Swami says, attaining that which we have not attained is called yoga, and protecting and nurturing what has been attained is called kshema.
Yeah.
These are two other meanings which can be ascribed to this.
ఇట్టి సంరక్షించుకొను సాధనలే అనన్య చింతనలు.
The sadhanas which will protect this is ananya chinta, that is thinking of the Lord without any other thought.
అట్టి పరమాత్మ చింతన వలన మనస్సు యొక్క మాలిన్యము వీడును.
With that kind of thinking of the Lord, the blemishes in the mind will be removed.
Yeah. అట్టి మాలిన్య రహితమైన మనస్సు కలిగి ఉండుటే భక్తిని యొక్క లక్షణం.
The characteristic of a bhakta is a mind which is unpolluted.
తన చూపులు, తన ఆటలు, పాటలు, మాటలు అన్నీ భగవత్మయమే అగుటయే భక్తుని చిహ్నములు.
So for the devotee, his sight is seeing, his play, his songs, his words, all of them would be filled with the Lord. That is the real characteristic of a devotee.
భక్త ఇట్టివారు ప్రత్యేకించి యజ్ఞయాగాదులు కానీ దాన ధర్మాదులు కానీ క్షేత్రయాత్రలు కానీ చేయలేకపోతేమే.
Such people, even if they don't do any specific yajnas or yagas, or they don't do any dana dharmas, or they do not visit they don't undertake pilgrimages.
అట్టి పవిత్ర కర్మల ద్వారా పరమాత్మని తృప్తి చేయలేకపోతేమే.
So with such sacred activities, we are unable to satisfy the Lord.
పోని చేయుటకు శక్తి సామర్థ్యములైనను పరమాత్ముడు ప్రసాదించలేదే అని విచారించనక్కర్లేదు.
There is no need to worry that the Lord has not granted the blessing of being granted the strength for undertaking such activities. There's no need to worry like that.
Arun, the whole thing, Yajna Yagadulu Dharma, from there you can summarize the whole.
Okay, Swami is saying a person who engages in Ananya Chinta, that is thinking of nothing else but the Lord, they do not have to perform any specific yajnas or yagas. They do not have to perform charities, they don't have to undertake pilgrimages. Even if such tasks are not done, if the devotee will not worry, or there's no need to worry that we have the Lord has not granted us the blessing or granted us the ability to perform this. Swami says there's no need to worry about that.
Yeah, there is no need to regret. Paramatmudu ivi enadu koraledu.
The Lord has never requested for this.
Yeah. Nirmala manasu kaligi undi emi andinchanu taanu anandamuga andukogaladu.
If there is blemishless mind, whatever is given, the Lord will accept gladly.
Yeah.
With joyfully.
That's next is Satya Karmalano.
I think.
Satkarmalano. Yeah, I think
Okay, I think I'm just checking what
good deeds. Yes.
Gladly accepts all. I don't think we have read.
Yeah, we have read because good deeds.
Yeah, we have read. Yeah. Go ahead.
So, Satkarmalanu Padarthamulu Enta Pavitramainano Ainapatikini Manasune Patra Malinyamai Undina Bhagavad Chintananu Kala. Then it goes right. Satkarmalanu Padarthamulu Enta Pavitramaino Ainapatikini.
So the good activities, the things which are called good activities, however sacred they are.
Yeah. Bhagavad Chintananu Kala.
Ante Manasane Patra Malinyamai Undaga.
Manasane Patra Malinyamai Undina.
If the vessel of mind is with blemishes,
Bhagavad Chintananu Kalai Poikundina.
If you apply the coating, a tin coating of the thought of the Lord.
Yeah. Sarva Padarthamalu Vishamai Povanu.
If you do not, okay, Kundina, okay. So if you have not applied the coating of the thoughts of the Lord, then everything will become poisonous.
Kana patra yokka parishuddhate tanu pradhanamuga ashinchunu.
So the purity or the purity of the mind is the most important thing the Lord wishes for.
Wishes, that's it. People here, they don't know how the vessels are tinkered, we do the tinning. Kalai, it's called Kalai. How far they know it, I don't know. We are very familiar with that because in India, these brass vessels, a person comes in, used to come before in the streets and he would offer to tin the vessels, inside the vessels, so that, when we cook something, it will not go bad, especially the lemon and other things. Arun, you must be familiar with that. Are you?
Yes. I think.
Kalai Pushen.
I think whoever is born in Canada in the past little while, they may not know, but I think most of
may not know.
I think most of the participants, I think, know.
We do it ourselves in Canada.
Sairam auntie. Yes, we do. We remember that Kalai Pusarde.
But nowadays Teflon coating.
Nowadays is Teflon coating.
Teflon coating is also there, but those brass vessels we used to do, in those days, stainless steel was also not available in those. I mean, I'm talking about 1950s, 40s, where the steel vessels were, stainless steel vessels were not there. So we used to use only brass vessels using that Kalai. Shivani, how do you do at home?
Auntie, I'm kidding. It's stainless steel. In Costco, you get different material, so you over a time when it gets little tarnish or not clean, so there is some powder they give you, like there is powder they sell, so it just shines. I think that's what you're talking. I have seen growing
No,
in
no,
India.
no, you are mistaken. It's not shining, ma. It's complete.
Okay.
It's done with some tin. Tin is used there to completely cover the whole vessel inside. That's called tinning or tinkering. What is it called? Tinned is used.
And then do they do it like what you're referring is like from time to time they used to do in India, or one time?
Time to time. Time to time,
Okay.
used to get tarnished. So they used to come on the streets and they would do it for us.
Okay.
Some kind of salt you used to do, and then first clean it and then put that small tin.
I'm still not clear what Sister Aruna, she asked me. Maybe I missed your explanation, Brother Aruna, the first 3 lines. Do you mind repeating that, please?
Oh, she asked, why is yoga acquisition of something desirable? So what we said was, in the Telugu, Swami has not said that. Swami basically is saying yoga is attaining that which has not been attained.
What does that mean again, please? Yoga,
what? Attaining something.
Yoga means, sister, it's join. Okay. So something with which you have not joined before, joining that is yoga. Yoga is the process of joining something. So that means you didn't have something
towards God, like
yes, in this case, its relevance is God.
Okay, then you
Kshema is protecting the welfare of that what we have obtained. That is Kshema. Okay, Swami is saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then when you do that, when you acquired, when you preserved it, then you will feel the Ananya Chinta.
No, the Ananya Chinta is needed to preserve it. That's
Just
why
like,
Swami
okay, with the Ananya Chinta only you can preserve it.
Yes.
So Ananya Chinta says all the time you think of God.
Yes.
So in order for that, Jajna and Yaga is not, if you have that kind of mindset, you don't need it. But in order to reach that level, sometimes you may need the Yaga and Jajna, all kind of discipline to get to that. Right? So you don't need only if you
until you reach that point, you need.
To reach, you have to do all these things. Yatra. So that's a key point, right? Until you reach to that point, you have to do all these things. Then only you will come to that point, right?
Yes.
So yajna, yaga. So people will say, no more yajna, yaga. No. You have to have those ones until you feel that, right? That's how we have to look at it.
See that I think what my understanding is, because your mind is always with the God. So wherever you sit there, you are with the God. You don't see anything else except the God. So why do you need? Then you don't need the other thing. You wouldn't worry about anything else, because anywhere you can attune to God.
But
that's what my understanding is about this explanation.
But brother, Swami said that doesn't mean that you have to do your action, you have to do your karmas, right? So when you think of God itself, is sufficient? Or you have to do good things, right? That's what it says, good deeds. You have to do it with the thinking of God. You cannot just sit and pray like that. Right?
No, that's right. Yeah, you don't need.
You have to do
everybody has to do the action, whether they like it or not.
Yeah.
That's what your function is.
Yeah. With that thinking, keeping Lord in our mind, we have to do good thing. This is...
So, what Swami has said is here, the way I understand. See, this yajna and yaga are, activities. like charity, or going to pilgrimage centers. Swami says that is not as essential as cleansing the mind. And cleansing the mind, Swami says, exclusive meditation on the Lord.
Yeah.
Yes, that means you have to meditate on the Lord. That is insisting on.
So that's I'm trying to say is, in order for that level, if you go through this yajna, yaga and all, then you will come to a place where you think of the Lord all the time, right?
Yes. But I
So
think Swami
otherwise everybody will think you don't need this anymore, right?
you have to do some sadhana.
Yes.
I think Swami is saying if people are unable to do such expensive things like doing yajna or going on a big pilgrimage, then they don't have to worry. Such people, Swami is saying, try to cleanse your mind. Because not everyone may be capable of doing it, or they may have the resources to do some of this charity. You need to have something to give. Yajna also is, it costs money. You have to, you can't do by yourself. Or even if you go on a pilgrimage, it costs money. So many people may not be able to do these things. So Swami, for such people, Swami is telling, don't worry, because you're unable to do it. If that is a state in which you are in, try to clean your mind with thought of God.
And you may engage yourself in
A clean mind and exclusive meditation on the Lord. That is, both things are required to cleanse our mind. Of course, if the mind is unclean, these two things are to be followed. And definitely Bhagawan will take care of the yoga kshema. You get something, you acquire something, and that whatever is acquired, Bhagavan will see to it that it is preserved properly. Sometimes, Arun, I have heard people saying that even for the worldly acquisitions, whatever is there, even for that also, you're getting aprapta things, praptam, and then that prapta things will be taken care of by the Lord. Sometimes, it's some people can do that kind of interpretation. But here we don't have to worry about that worldly things. We are talking about spiritual wealth.
But when we born in the world, Swami will take care of the worldly things too. But how we look at it is different. We think it's a prosperous way, how we think. It's not the one Swami will take care, right? It's a worldly thing. It's something is towards the God. He will give you the experience.
Because Ananya Chinta means then we can't think of the world.
You'll be thinking of the worldly things then.
Then it's not Ananya Chinta anymore.
Gopal, yeah.
Sai Ram.
Yes, uncle.
The word meditate, Swami's version is a little different from what the majority of the people think. It's not like sitting in one place and meditating. Swami says anything which you do, you offer it to me all the time, you think about me, that is meditation, he says. So
Thank you, uncle.
Sairamana.
Yes, Sai Satish.
Just adding to what Uncle is just mentioned. So I think Ananya Chintana comes like where Swami would tell about concentration, contemplation, and meditation. So it is initially when we start, we concentrate, and then it gets to a point where it stays with us longer. And then we start to meditate. And then we start to meditate. And then we start to contemplate. And then we start to contemplate. And then we start to meditate. 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 And then we and then it becomes an unending stream of meditation where, independent of what we do not know that this is a worldly activity or this is Swami's activity, everything just becomes one continuous stream of ceaselessly thinking of the Lord or serving the Lord in one way or the other. And that is where I think it's like we initially get a glimpse of the divinity, which is the unattainable being kind of attained. And once that taste comes for that, then of course the Ananyas Chintayanto Mam needs to follow, so that what came as a fleeting moment becomes a lasting presence, something of that kind. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, yes, Auntie, please go.
For a beginner, first he needs all his worldly desires to be satisfied. So here, of course, Bhagavan is there. He thinks of the Lord also. And he gets all the things, whatever he wants. Then, his faith is strengthened there. And then from there on, he will go on the path, spiritual path. And he might get this feeling that, what I am trying to acquire is Bhagavan's grace and nearness to the Lord and attaining him. That first step he takes, and then the kshema part of it is taken by the Lord. A seeker starts with the worldly things, I feel. Saira.
Thank you, Auntie.
Sorry, Uncle, just to clarify, so in the verse where it says yoga kshemam vahamyaham, but here it says Swami saying the actual Ananyas Chintayanto Ma, that itself is what will preserve it. Is it talking about preserving the yoga?
So Swami says,
Itti samrakshinchukonu sadhanale ananya chintanalu.
Yeah.
That is the line.
Swami saying the sadhana required for protecting this is Ananya Chintana.
Ananya chintana.
So the chintana itself is what actually gives you yoga kshema?
Yes.
Gives you.
Yeah, kshema is the protection. Swami says Ananya Chintana is that which will protect it. So I think that's the effort required to protect it, but the protection is given by the Lord.
So Ananya Chinta is the process.
What is within our control, sister.
Anna, isn't it like when we do that, that itself protects, right? As we are doing the Ananya Chintana, the Kshema is part and parcel of that. So it is more about as we think, we are protected for that moment. And as we continue that process of thinking, the protection becomes, it becomes more sustained. So it is like the deeper we are into the process of sustaining it, the Kshema is all the more coming as a part and parcel of that.
Yeah. Yes, actually. I'm just reminded of, I think it's an analogy Swami gives, I think somewhere else. For example, when you are driving a car, we can steer the steering, but that by itself will not turn the car. Or, if you apply the brake, it will not stop. The thing is, the brake which we press should be connected to the brake pedal which we press should be connected to the brake pads and brakes. Even the steering wheel should be connected to the wheels. So I think that is a yoga. We connect. Then for the car, even though we turn the steering, the machinery which is capable of turning the wheel will turn it. So I think what we do is like steering the wheel and pressing the brake. that is like Ananya Chinta. Whereas the job is getting done by the Lord. But I think our part is Ananya Chinta, and then he does the rest. He connects and he also preserves.
Brother,
Yes.
just one more time clarification here. The yoga is an action. So what something you wanted to acquire, whatever you want to, right? Like a closer to the any yoga that you are doing, get closer to the Lord. The Shema preservation will say whatever we are doing, we are thinking over it, but there is another word they are using, the preservation for Shema, the discipline by which we can preserve is Ananya Chinta. So what discipline they are saying for Ananya Chinta, the discipline for the preservation.
Yeah.
So the preservation is Ananya Chinta, which is you think of your Lord all the time.
All the time.
That is the discipline, right?
I think the confusion is arising because in the shloka, the Lord says, you do Ananya Chinta, I do the yoga and Shema.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So the thing is, the yoga is what the Lord will bless us with. And Shema is also what the Lord will bless us with. But for the Lord to bless us with that, what we have to do is Ananya.
That discipline we have to have it.
Yeah. So what is in our control is Ananya Chintana. The Lord is the one who can connect, which is yoga. He is the one who can preserve it. But for the Lord to do, what we have to do is Ananya Chinta.
Oh, in order to get to Ananya Chinta, you have to do the yoga and Shema.
No. We have to do Ananya Chintana.
You have to do Ananya.
Yeah, Ananya Chinta. But to come to that Ananya Chinta, what you have to do? You have to do yoga. Bhakti. The last bhakti is the Ananya Chinta, right?
You have asked a question for which later on the Lord Swami will tell what to do.
Okay.
Abhyasa. Practice. Okay, I think I'll stop here. This is Uncle Gopalan wants to say.
Yeah, just the meaning for yoga is also union, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Every day we have to think. Whatever we do, it's a samarpanam.
Yeah. He is the one who is a giver and he is the one who is the protector. Okay, and for that we do Ananya Chintana. He gives, he protects. Okay.
I think Sister Aruna's question is, how do we get to Ananya Chinta? Kalyani, please go ahead.
Oh, sorry, Uncle, it was an unrelated question. I can, basically in the Telugu, where it says the last part about Ittivaru Pratyakin, it's in quotations. Is there a reason why that's in quotations?
Maybe.
There's Ittivaru. Is it up?
Yeah.
Near the end of what you read.
Yeah. One minute. Ittivaru pratyakinchi yajna yagadulu kani, such persons don't have to do yajna yagadulu, dana dharma. That's what you wanted, Kalyani?
Yes, in this document, it's in quotations. So I was wondering, is there a reason?
It is in quotation. It is in quotation here. ప్రత్యేకించి యజ్ఞ యాగాదులు కానీ దాన ధర్మాలు కానీ క్షేత్ర యాత్రలు కానీ చేయలేకపోతిమే, అట్టి పవిత్ర కర్మల ద్వారా పరమాత్మని తృప్తి చేయలేకపోతిమే, పోని చేటుకు శక్తి సామర్థ్యములైన పరమాత్ముడు ప్రసాదించింది. దిస్ ఆర్ ఆల్ రిగ్రెట్ భక్త షుడ్ నాట్ ఫీల్. They should not feel that way.
So these are the thoughts which run in the
minds
mind
of the devotees. They should not do that, because if they have done the Ananya Chintana, if the continuously exclusive meditation of the Lord, they don't have to do anything, like yaga, yajna, kshetra, pilgrimage, or these things. They don't have to do. It's enough. He will take care of it.
See, Kalyani, Ittivaru, then you go to the last word in that section, which is
Prasadinchale. Prasadinchale.
Vicharinchana karaledu.
Ani vicharinchana karaledu. They don't have to think about it.
And so what should they avoid, or what they don't have to worry about is this. Thinking like this. Pratyaginchi, Yajna, Lokani. We couldn't do all these Yajna Yagas. Such people who have already attained Ananya Chinta, they don't need to worry saying, oh, I couldn't do this, I didn't have the resources to do it, I was incapable of doing it, the Lord is not going to be happy with me. Such thoughts are not necessary.
Okay, I see.
Okay.
Sometimes we feel, this time I could not visit this pilgrimage place, I could not go do dana, I could not do dharma. All these things, thoughts come to our mind, but we don't have to think about it like that. If we do, Ananya Chinta.
So I'm just thinking, if we are doing Ananya Chintana, then we don't have time to think about Yagna and Yaga.
That's
I'm just thinking. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, when would you get time to think about that? Because you're
sister,
constantly Ananya. Yeah.
Sister, such people think, oh, I want to do this for the Lord. The Lord likes it, So, see, if you like somebody, you want to do all that pleases that person. So they are not doing Yajna Yaga for the sake of merit. They're saying that will satisfy the Lord, so I want to do that.
I got that, but I'm just thinking that if I'm exclusively meditating on the Lord 24/7, then what Swami is saying, I know Swami is really great, but we don't have time then. And then we don't even have to think about worldly, where the food, shelter, clothing will come, because he will take care of it. I think he said in the past, I'll take care of. So I think long time back I read, and that's my interpretation of what Swami has said, that you don't need to think about worldly thing when you exclusively meditate and think about me, because see, if we don't have food, shelter, clothing, then we're diverted from thinking about him. Then I have to search for food. If I don't have, then he's smart that way, that he doesn't want you to deviate or distract your mind from him. So he will provide you that, so that constantly you are on that. So we don't need to think, once we have that connection with him all the time, that I'm just thinking, I'm visualizing, I'm a visual person, cord, that's that cord between you and Bhagawan is there. So you don't need to think if it's raining, if it's sunny, if it's food is there, I have comfortable chair, because he will make sure, in whatever disturbs the connection, he will make sure he will provide you that. That's my interpretation.
Yes.
Thank you, sister. Thank you.
Or Sairam sister, or it can be looked at, for everything you're so dependent on him, whether it is for food, shelter, or clothing, you have to pray to him, that you keep praying to him. So there is the other end as well, where you're solely dependent on him for even food, shelter, and clothing. So you think of it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Satish. Anyone else would like to discuss anything? If not, we can
go to the next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Note how the handful of parched rice that Kuchela offered the Lord with a pure mind pleased him. Read the experiences of Vidura and Draupadi in the epics and Puranas. What did they offer the Lord? Vidura gave a cup of gruel. Draupadi had only a wee bit of leaf to offer. On the face of it, they are valueless, unable to fetch even half a paisa as price. But consider how much the Lord gave in return. He does not calculate the value of things. He calculates the feeling that prompted the act. So purify the feeling in order to win His grace.
Yeah.
And we will read the Telugu also, I think.
Okay. అట్టి నిర్మల హృదయములో పరమాత్మకేమి అందించునో పురాణ ఇతిహాసముల్లో చూడుడు.
So we can see what in the Puranas, what such people with blemishless heart offered to the Lord.
పిడికెడు అటుకులు కుచేలుడిచ్చెను.
One handful of parched rice Kuchela gave.
Yeah. విదురుడు ద్రౌపది ఏమి ఇచ్చిరి?
What did Draupadi and Vidura give?
చారెడు గంజి బలుసు పత్రము.
So he gave
charedu and 1 cup of boiled rice, something like.
Yeah, what
porridge,
is it? Porridge.
Porridge. And balusu
cup of porridge, balusu patramu. He gave us leaf of spinach leaf or something like that.
వీటి వెలు ఎంత?
What is the price? What is their price?
లోకములో పైసా అయినను చేయదు.
In the world, it will not even fetch half a paisa, half a cent.
అట్టివానికి పరమాత్ముడు ఎంతటి ఫలితమును అందించనో చూడుడు.
For such people, how much the Lord gave them as fruit, results of that action, you can see.
పరమాత్ముని దృష్టి వస్తుపై కాదు.
The Lord's vision is not on the thing which is offered.
భావశుద్ధిపై కాన భావమును పవిత్రముగా పాటించుడు.
He only looks at the bhava, feeling. So make the bhava sacred.
Ante. That's it. The club closed. 19th chapter is over.
Yes, sir. Anyone would like to discuss any of the points, Swami? Swami has given some examples of great devotees who thought of the Lord all the time, who did not give anything, but the Lord gave them grace, gave them so much.
Ramana?
Yes,
more in the context of how you can treat adversity as an opportunity, where whether you take poverty or problems, like how Kunti Devi prayed only for problems, because when those kind of scenarios come, they almost it becomes like Ananya Chintana, because you don't have any other option but to hold on to the Lord, which ensures Yoga Kshemam from there on for that part. So it's literally like every, even as we go through the lows of life more than the highs, it is at that point in time that literally the true kshema is being taken care of from the spiritual parlance, because we are able to hold on to him and think of the Lord ceaselessly. So just adding that.
Brother, you're saying about Vidura and Draupadi, so the Lord has given so much, right? But in a worldly sense, or thinking about the story, sometimes you will think Draupadi has gone through so much suffering. So what is God has given is, I think, based on what we are in, Ananya Chinta. So that is what the Lord has given, I think, because that is the grace of the Lord for them, because when you look at it on a worldly point of view, Draupadi has gone through so much, right? But the grace is the Lord grace only to think of the Lord, and they didn't feel the suffering. The feel wasn't there on a worldly perspective, but the good feeling towards the Lord was there. That's just thinking about Draupadi. Thank you, Sairam. This is my thought.
Okay, thank you, sister. Anyone else would like to share anything?
Just a thought, I think, way back, Brother Sai Satish has mentioned that how important it is to have purity of your word, thoughts, and deed, and unity of word, thoughts, and deed. And that's what I see here as well, that it's very important to have that union in all those three aspects.
Thank you, sister. Anyone else?
Sairam,
Yes, Auntie.
there is what happened one time, Chitravati dried out and not very much water, and the people don't have that much water in Prashanti, and we all prayed to Swami, and then like I was saying, Swami is all with children and the old people is all in the place in this building, and there is no water is coming. And then one Thursday I did the Padaka Abhishekam, and then I took it, and then they drilling the person was drilling, but so many times they drilled, there is no water. And then when I did the puja and then put the water in there, the water gushing to come out. And, so prayer and a sincere prayer, and Swami will definitely bless us for this is just an example I was saying. Thank you, Sairam.
Thank you very much, Auntie.
Very good.
I believe that that Swami's mentioning is the story with Sage Durvasa and the
yes.
Can you tell the story with the porridge and Vidura?
Auntie, you will say the story?
Yeah. A little bit. Krishna goes to the court of Duryodhana, the Kauravas, bringing a message. He goes as a messenger of peace. Duryodhana offers all kinds of food, and great table is laid out with all sorts of things. But Krishna refuses to take it, and he goes to Vidura's place. Vidura was, though he was a minister, very simple person. So he offers a cup of what is it called? Kanji. And some other thing, very, very simple food he offers. Krishna accepts it, and then he blesses him. That's how Vidura, till the end, he was on the right path. He was on the spiritual path, even though he was influenced by all kinds of bad influences outside. Externally, he was really surrounded by these Kauravas and their evil thoughts. But he remained as a real devotee until the end. And he was the one who goes to, I think, what happens to Arun afterwards for Vidura?
Yeah, later he goes, he comes back, he takes Dhritarashtra, Gandhari, and takes them also on sannyasa. He goes on Aranyam. And he, I think he went to the north, and he did some penance, and then he left his form and
left his form.
The Bhagavatam, it's all covered in the Bhagavata. Yes. I think he meets Maitreya and all that. Yes, Sai Satish.
He goes to Prabhakshetra and drops his body, right?
Yes.
Prabhas.
I think he meets with Maitreya Rishi and he guides him what to do. similar to, what's his name? Uddhava also.
Uddhava.
I think both of them are meeting and having a
Yeah.
discussion.
I think Uddhava gives the news that Krishna has left the body.
Yeah, so he was really blessed with yoga and kshema of that. Just with a little bit of porridge.
I think I saw a play done in Puttaparthi where does he also feed him like instead of feeding him the banana, he feeds them the banana peel?
His wife is supposed to, it is pictured in that serial, how she had Ananya Bhakti. That is it. She was not bothering about whether she is giving the fruit or the skin of the fruit. So she is giving the skin and she's throwing away the fruit.
Oh.
So much, I mean, she was so much engrossed in that bhakti to the Lord. She was closing her eyes and thinking about the Lord only. And then she gave that. Even then, Krishna accepts it.
Yeah, I think in the play in Puttaparthi, they showed it as Vidura giving him the banana peel.
I don't know.
His wife, maybe, or
I have seen it as wife.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, whether it's wife, both are one. Shiva Shakti there together.
Yeah, even I have heard it as Vidura, and one thing is they giving the peel, another thing is Krishna eating that peel also, right? He also accepts it. For a second he doesn't say, you have given me the peel, please give me the banana. He eats the peel. He eats the peel because that is the love and devotion with which it is being offered. And I can correlate that, like Swami had gone to Alike. He had gone once from Bangalore on a trip to Alike, and Swami had come back, and then he was narrating this in Thrice. Swami himself was saying that when he reached there, they were so happy in receiving Swami that, like, while serving Swami, they put a lot of pickle, only like a lot of pickle on Swami's plate. And I think a little bit of other thing only. But Swami also was so touched with their love and devotion, he was eating only the pickle. And later on, he came back and told they were so happy in seeing me there. They didn't even know what they are serving me and all that. So you can really correlate and see how the Lord just goes only with the love. He doesn't really see what discomfort he is put to. As long as that love is coming spontaneously, gushing from the devotee's heart, he just accepts anything that is given to him.
Thank you, Sai Satish. Anyone else would like to share anything? If everyone is okay, maybe then we should move on.
Yeah. Next. Chapter 20.
Okay. The Gita clearly declares that only the Hridaya Pushpa, heart lotus, free from impurities, that grows in the Manasa Sarovar, the pellucid waters of the mind, is worthy to be offered to God. That is the reason why Krishna told Arjuna, my dear brother-in-law, whatever activity you are engaged in, whatever gift you give, whatever food you take, do it as a dedicated offering to me. Do everything in the dedicatory spirit as a tribute to God, for only such acts reach me. I have no special preference for any one name. All names are mine. I know neither friend nor foe. I am the unaffected witness.
I reside with.
Shall we read Telugu?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, first paragraph I'll read. మానస సరోవరములోని మాలిన్య రహితమైన హృదయ పుష్పమే పరమాత్మ అర్పితమునకు యోగ్యమైనదని గీత స్పష్టంగా తెలుపుతుంచున్నది.
So the Geetha is clearly telling us that the Hridaya Pushpam, or the lotus, the heart of the lotus of the heart, which is in the Manasa Sarovara, in the pellucid waters of the mind, without any pollution, malinyam rahitamai, that is the one which is worthy of offering to the Lord. That's what Geetha states.
అందులకే కాబోలు కృష్ణుడు అర్జునుని భావా, నీవు ఏ పని చేసినను, ఏ దానము చేసినను, ఏమి భుజించినను వాటినంటినీ నాకు అర్పణము చేయి.
So maybe because of this, that the Lord Krishna told Arjuna, Bhava, the brother-in-law, whatever work you do, whatever charity you do, whatever you eat, all that you offer me.
అనగా సర్వకర్మలు సర్వేశ్వరార్పణ బుద్ధితో చేయుము.
All the actions you do as you are offering to the Lord of everything, Sarveshwara, with that kind of a buddhi. You do it with that kind of a thinking or that kind of discrimination.
తప్పక నన్నే పొందుదువు.
Without fail, you will attain me.
నాకు భేదభావములు లేవు.
I do not have any discrimination. I don't differentiate.
శత్రువులు కానీ మిత్రులు కానీ లేరు.
No enemies, no friends.
నేను సాక్షిభూతుడను మాత్రమే.
I am just a witness.
ఎవరు నన్ను కోరి సేవించి మోదింతురో వారల యందు ఉందును.
Whoever seeks me and worships me,
I am going to be there.
and modinturo means they take delight in me. I am in them.
That's it.
Okay, so that's the first paragraph. The second paragraph in English, shall we read, or do we want to discuss the first paragraph? I think it's very clearly Swami saying, you can, so I think a few things Swami saying that we have to offer the lotus of our heart to the Lord. Then he says we can worship him in any name.
But the last sentence, brother, is right, Swami saying, I reside with all who serve me?
And derive joy from that space.
Evaru nannu kori sevinchi. That means who will seek me out and serve me, and who take delight in me. I am in them.
But Lord is everywhere. I am unaffected witness, right? So he is there, right? So there's two things, right? The Swami is trying to, he's unaffected with everyone, but reside in who serve me. That's true. Something is not in line.
I think sister is worried that that means the Lord is not in people who are not worshipping him. Is that the problem? When Lord is everywhere, how come Krishna is telling that I reside only in the people who serve me? Yes. So that's the question.
Yes.
I will open it up for a discussion. Has Swami forgotten that he is everywhere? Or Krishna forgot? I think that's the question. We'll have to tell Swami, I don't think you. So I will open it up for discussion. Anyone would like to
There should be something different with the witness and reside. Something Swami is trying to tell, which I don't understand. Thank you.
Thank you, sister. Is the witness not in us? I think that's a question sister is asking. Because Swami is differentiating between, he's a witness, but then he says, I reside in people who serve me. Okay, so is the witness outside us? I think that's a question. So I will open it. Yes, Sai Satish.
Hi, Ramana. So, like what was discussed earlier, the rain water falls equally on earth. Some water gets mixed with the gutter. Some water is maybe falls in a vessel. Some falls into the lakes and ocean and finally makes its way to the oyster and finally becoming the pearl. So in just using the same analogy, or even the thing that if you have the sun, you have different vessels filled with water. The sun is equally reflected in all the vessels. But depending on how murky is a vessel having water, the reflection will appear that clear or that opaque. So God as such is indweller of every being, but whether we call that him as a witness or Sakshi Bhuta, that clarity in saints and seers, you see that that being resplendent in all its beauty, because they are that Ananyas Chintayantomam is happening so much that the Yogakshema is reflected in all its clarity. But for other people, if I am caught up with all my Vishaya Vasana and caught up with the worldly things, and there is not that Ananyas Chinta, then that reflection of that Atmic principle or God or Sun or whatever we want to call is not that crystal clear. And that is where he is there as the witness, he is there as the inner indweller in every being. But how well that is expressed, like the pearl in an oyster or like a saint and a seer, is dependent on how they are doing that Ananyas. Saira.
Thank you, Sai Satish. Uncle Gopalan.
Sairam, Swami has said many a times that I am waiting at the door. He doesn't want to open the door. So how can I go inside? So these are some of the, this is one of the expressions Swami uses, you know.
Thank you, Uncle. Thank you. Anyone else would like to?
The divine spark which is present in all of us is that witness. He is not affected by all our activities. He is pure and he just watches what we are doing. That's what witness consciousness is. So, but he resides in everyone, whether you serve him or not, or you're not doing any service to the Lord, even then he is witnessing everything. But here the sentence, I reside with all who serve me, that I think that confused Aruna. Only not only those who serve me. He's everywhere. He's in everybody. Sorry.
Sai Ramadi, thank you. Anyone else would like to share something?
Okay.
Sister Aruna, what do you think? She's...
I like the one Gopal uncle said about Swami's waiting at the door all the time for every witness. That is right. But reside, someone allows in, so that we have to work towards it.
Okay, sister, the word Swami has used is Varali Yandu Unduno.
What is that?
So Varali Yandu means he's near them, he's accessible to them. That kind of a meaning you should take. Okay. Varali Yandu means along with them. I'm accessible to them. You know, that kind of a meaning. So the way I understand is, Krishna himself says he is in everyone as a bija, as a seed. The Lord resides in everything in this world as a seed. But the seed, if it doesn't grow, you don't really, the seed's presence itself is not felt. Just the way in a soil, seeds can be there. Unless the seed sprouts, you really don't have access to, you don't get the benefit of having that seed. So what Swami says is, once you have, it is similar to what Uncle has said, so that you open the door, the sunlight will get in. Because there are other discourses where Swami says God is not so small that he can get inside you. Yes, he's smaller than the smallest, but he's also bigger than the biggest. So he cannot be contained within us, but his light can go within us and reach. So I think in that sense, the God is inside as well as outside. In a seed form, he is in everyone, but he's outside of us also. So for that light to get in, as Uncle said, if you open the door, he can get in. So I think, so that is the way to look at it. It's not that God is missing there, but is visible. He's experienceable by them also. Even though I may say I have God in me, I'm experiencing him. If I don't experience him, he's not with me. He's only far distant. Even though he is within, he is distant. So you are not even able to experience him. So I think that's the meaning we should take. I think others have also explained, so I just try to complement that, I hope.
So only the experience part. So Lord is everywhere, but only the experience part only come from the reside.
Resident.
So that is, yes. Okay.
Yeah, because there's a word called Bhava Gochara, only through feeling you can reach him, attain him. If you don't have that feeling, you cannot. So I think from that
So
sense.
it's again, we are coming to the connection. Yoga.
Yoga. Yes.
Yoga.
Okay. So when you connect, then he will reside. Otherwise, he's there. Okay. Okay.
There, but as good as not there.
Yes.
So that's what.
Good. Thank you.
Anyone else would like to comment, please? Okay, if no one, maybe we'll read the next paragraph in English, Auntie, and then we'll read Telugu. This raised some doubts in Arjuna's mind. He asked Krishna, you say that you do not make any distinction, that you have neither friend nor foe. How then does it happen that some are happy and others are unhappy? Some are strong in body and mind, some are weak and sickly. Some are poor and some rich. What is the reason behind all this? When you yourself are above any distinction of such type, why can you not keep all in the same condition? Observing facts as they are, it is difficult to believe that you look upon all without any partiality.
He's attacking, Arjuna is attacking Krishna. So shall I go with Telugu?
Yes, let's.
అందులకు అర్జునుడు తిరిగి అనుమానగ్రస్తుడై, కృష్ణ, నీకు అందరూ సమానమే అని అంటివి కదా, అటులైన లోకమును కొందరు సుఖముగా, మరికొందరు దుఃఖముగా, కొందరు యోగులుగా, మరికొందరు రోగులుగా, ధనవంతులుగా, దరిద్రులుగా ఉన్నారే.
So for when Krishna said this, Arjuna, he was besieged with some doubts, with some questions. He's asking, "Oh Krishna, you say everyone is equal to you, okay? But if that is so, in this world, some are happy, some are sad, some are yogis, some are rogis, the people, deceased people, some are with wealth, who have a lot of wealth, some are very, very poor.
What's the reason? దీనికి కారణమేమి?
What is the reason for this?
నీకే భేదము లేకున్నా అందరినీ ఒకే స్థితిలో ఉంచి ఉండకూడదా?
If you do not have any differences, why don't you keep everyone in the same state? Why
దీనిని పట్టి చూడ, నీకు భేదము లేదని మాట నమ్మ సాధ్యము కానిది, ఆధారము లేనిది అని అన్నాడు.
So when we see this, there is no proof, there is no support for your statement that you don't differentiate among people.
Yeah.
It is, I cannot believe it.
Show some proof, he says.
So maybe I'll read the next paragraph also.
Okay.
Krishna laughed at this doubt which worried Arjuna. I give expression only to truth. I do not adjust my speech to your approval or disapproval. I am not elated when you approve or depressed when you disapprove. I am the same in all, but all are not the same in me. You have observed that during the cold month, villagers sit around a fire at night, but only those who sit near the fire get refreshed by the warmth. Those squatting far away have also to put up with the darkness. If people stay far and complain that they do not receive the warmth and that they have to suffer darkness, can you ascribe it to the partiality of the fire? It is meaningless to argue from this. That fire treats different people differently.
Okay. I will do that. పరమాత్ముడు అర్జునుని అనుమానమునకు నవ్వి, భావార్జున, నేను సత్యమునే పలుకుదును.
Okay, the Supreme Lord laughed at the doubt of Arjuna and said, "Oh brother-in-law Arjuna, I always speak only truth.
నీవు నమ్మినను
I speak only truth.
నీవు నమ్మినను నమ్మకున్నను సత్యము కృంగదు.
Whether you believe it or you don't believe it, truth will neither be elated nor will it feel depressed.
నేను అందరి యందును సమానముగానే ఉన్నాను.
I reside in all in equal way.
కానీ అందరూ నా యందు సమాన దృష్టిగా లేరు.
But others are not with the same vision. They don't have they don't possess the same vision.
ఎటులన చలికాలమును రాత్రములందు గ్రామాదుల్లో మంటలు వేసుకుందురు.
So in cold times, in the night, in the villages, they light fire.
ఎవరు ఆ మంటలకు దగ్గర కూర్చుందరో వారు మాత్రమే చలి లేక ఉందురు.
Whoever sits closer to the fire, they will be free from cold.
అంతేకాక చీకటి లేక ప్రకాశమును కూడాను అనుభవింతురు.
Not only that, they also experience light instead of darkness.
అట్లు కాక మంటకు దూరముగా నిలుచుకొని చలిపోలేదే అనియు, చీకటి ఆవరించిననియే అనియు, ప్రకాశము వారి పాల లేదనియు అనిన ఏ భేదం ఆ భేదం అగ్ని దట్లు అగును.
If somebody stands far from the fire and say, I'm feeling cold, or it's still cold, or that darkness is enveloping me, or there is
no light in my
the light is not falling on them. and then ascribe that difference, that that as something which the fire is doing. Fire is differentiating them or discriminating.
ఇంత మాత్రమున అగ్నికి భేదమున్నదని వాదించుట అర్థరహితం.
In this manner, if to say that Agni is always differentiating and discriminating and arguing thus is meaningless.
బుద్ధిహీనము వివేక శూన్యము కదా.
It is lack of intelligence or discrimination, isn't it?
Yeah. That's all. I think that only up to that.
So, sister, I think you got the answer here.
Bhagawan is like Agni.
You cannot experience him. That experiencing is that.
And people to think, oh, some are weak, sick, some are poor and rich. That is that is a judgment. I always say, how do you know that the person is poor? How do you know that person is? That kind of thinking also goes, because it's a poor or rich, only that person knows. And
Nobody is judging here. Nobody is judging here, Aruna. Krishna is saying whether they are rich or poor, whether they are this thing sick or weak or strong. I am there for everybody.
Yeah, that is how we see it, right? That person may think, I am not poor, I am still rich in a way. So we shouldn't.
Only a devotee will feel that way. That's what Swami says.
So that is, everyone has to make the attempt.
Each person, sometimes you can be a millionaire and still feel you are poor. You may not have anything to eat, but you can still feel, I have everything. Anyone else would like to share any thought, please?
Anna, just like based on what you were saying, for a poor person also, he may have nothing, but if he has the Lord's name, which is the most precious jewel, he is the richest person. So Swami would always say that. He would say, who is the richest person in the world? One with less desires is the richest person. And yeah, so going along the same lines, it is, I think, having that feeling that we have God with us or his name with us confers the kshema part, which is the true richness, or whatever you want to say about it. Yeah.
Thank you, Sai Satish. I'm also reminded of the song we sing. Mi sannidhe maaku pennidhi. You say, your presence, your divine presence is our greatest wealth. Your sannidhi.
And continue, brother.
Maaku pennidhi.
For us.
Maaku pennidhi.
That Tamil. Yes, I said.
No, I was just saying that's part of the song that we would have. So yeah, absolutely.
But that birthday song, I think we have this.
I think 3-4 songs have that, auntie.
Yeah, lots of.
Can I ask a question? I don't know if it's related. Okay, so Swami has said the villagers, those who are sitting around a fire, they know they will get warmth. And I'm thinking those who are sitting far, maybe they don't know that fire will help them to get warmth, and they have no idea. So that's why they are staying away. How can to create that. Not we are in the position to create, but how that understanding can come in somebody. Hey, when you go closer to the fire, you will feel warmth rather than suffering and staying far. Does it make sense? I don't know. I'm just trying to see that it could be not for any other reason. It's just they don't know that fire can give them warmthness.
Thank you, sister. I think the question is, I think even the people who stand far know that the fire will help, but they are not making any effort and they're blaming it on the fire. Okay. Even such people, I think, will have some idea. They may, they are very busy blaming the fire rather than making good use of it.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. So I think it is not that they don't know that fire can help. It's just that they are caught up in blaming the fire. I think Sai Satish, you wanted to say something.
Listen, I was just going to say that let us assume they don't know the fire is there. They at least can see the people who are experiencing that warmth of that fire and they are reflecting there in their lives. We have the stories of so many saints and sages and devotees of the Lord who have expressed what it is to enjoy that warmth of that fire. So that can be sufficient motivation to go near the fire. So another part, even if they don't know, even if we say that, okay, we have become blind to the existence of the fire, the joy and the exuberance with which the devotees of the Lord have lived their life is sufficient motivation to make a step towards the fire.
Thank you, Sai Satish. Thank you.
Sai Ram.
Yes, Auntie.
Is that Swami says always have a good company and run away from the bad companies. So good companies has always good thoughts, and you're talking about the fire. The good company is at the fire. You can go close to that. Sai Ram.
Thank you, Auntie. Thank you. Anyone else has something to add? I think I've just maybe it's 420. There's another thing which Swami always says. However far you think you are, that's how much far I am from you. So if you stay far, I am also far. If you stay close, I am also close. So if you think of me often, I will think of you often. If I will, so those are things, Swami. So if there's nothing else, maybe shall I at least read it? 426. I'll just read the paragraph in English and I think we can leave it at that. If everyone is okay.
Okay.
The splendor of the divine vision is akin to this. If you seek to earn it, you have to approach it and stay there. Everyone has equal right to do so and to feed the fire, so that it might illumine and warm even more. Fire is impartial in deriving its benefit and in making it grow into greater and greater capacity. There are differences. I am splendor. I have no partiality at all. To experience me and derive bliss from me, all have equal chance, opportunity, and authority. Distinctions and differences arise as a result of the faults of the sadhakas. They are not blemishes in me.
So clearly Swami is saying the fault lies with us, not with Swami, not with Bhagawan.
Yes. Auntie, should we just read the Telugu also? I don't know.
Yeah, if we have time, we can go through it.
Yeah, but 3 minutes are there, so.
Bhagavat Gnana Kiranamula Sambandhamu ittide.
The rays of wisdom which comes from the Lord are also similar.
దానిని పొందగోరి చెంత చేరువారు దాని ప్రకాశము ఫలితము పొందగలరు.
People who wish to attain it and who go closer to it, they will attain the effulgence and the fruits from that.
అంత మాత్రము చే భగవంతునకు భేదమని తలంచరాదు.
Because of that, there is no way one can say or think that the Lord has differentiation.
అయితే అగ్ని దగ్గరకు వెళ్ళుటకు అందరికీ అధికారము కలదు.
It means everyone has the right or the authority to go near the fire.
మంటలు వృద్ధి చేసుకొనుటకు అందరికీ స్వతంత్రం ఉన్నది.
Everyone has the freedom to grow the fire.
మంటలో ఏ భేదము ఉండదు.
For fire, there's absolutely no differentiation or discrimination.
దానిని అనుభవించుట యందు అభివృద్ధి పరచుకొనుట యందే భేదము.
It's only difference in experiencing it or growing it.
ఇదే విధముగా జ్యోతిర్మయుడైన నాకును ఎట్టి భేదమును ఉండదు.
In the same way, the I am who is the form, who is the embodiment of light.
Right.
I don't have any difference.
నన్ను పొందుటకు అందరికీ అధికారము కలదు.
Everyone has the authority, the right to attain me.
భేదభావములు సాధకులలోని దోషములే కానీ నాలోని మచ్చలు కావు బావా. భేదభావములు సాధకులలోని దోషములు.
So the differences are due to the
blemishes.
Auntie? Blemishes. I was trying to look for blemishes in the sadhakas or the aspirants, but not then they are not black marks on me.
Yeah. అని కృష్ణ భగవానుడు వచించెను. That's it.
Thus Krishna told Arjuna.
I think it stops there.
Yes, Auntie. I think it's 4:30 also.
Okay. Yeah.
So we will close for today and we will continue next week. Sairam everyone. We will close with Samastaloka. Sairam. Om Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sairam.
Sairam. Thank you. Thank you, Sairam.
Sairam.